What's up, guys? Keith Trade. Today is August 27th. Happy Tuesday, and man, a tough day and a slow grinder for our trading. But what's important in our psychology point we're going to go over today is to trust your setups and to stay disciplined. Here is why it always pays to trust your setup, regardless of win or loss. Right, so coming in, quick testimonials, right? Had a brand new member, take a nice little $761 dub from our PM session. Another member plus 200 on his funded. So overall, great stuff. All right, so getting into my narrative, right? So I ended up going 1 for 2 today on live, but I took a dub by myself before news. So I ended up going 2 for 3 today. But I want to get over the narrative number 1. All right, so coming in, my main sell side narrative point before reversal was this daily low. All right, we have a daily fair value gap here. And my point of interest was this sell side level to draw into the daily. Coming on the 4 hour, right, similar structure. We already had a 4 hour fair value gap respect pre-market and already delivered to this low. But I still saw room lower. Why? To hit sell side, reprice to the daily. Coming in on the 1 hour, similar stuff. In the 15 minute. So here was my trade I took by myself. I did not alert this to members, or I was not live because we had news at 7, but I was confident in this trade. So coming in, we have a 15-minute fair value gap here, or I don't use the 30-minute chart, but it was pretty much just a 30-minute fair value gap at this price point that I was looking at. It's also 30-minute here would be your draw higher. Here's my first narrative to draw higher, which is also unfilled 15. My targets for my longs, 15-minute high, pre-market high. But I was looking at these 15-minute fair value gaps coming into the day. Here and here. So coming into the session open, we saw a respect of the fair value gaps, 15-minute fair value gap rejection, and then we broke structure. Although we took the low, I was comfortable taking this trade because we had respect of the 15 and broke structure. I knew the narrative was to hit this level to reprice to the daily, right? So I found my entry at a 2-minute fair value gap, lying here, wick to wick. So here is what I call my entry point. 2-minute fair value gap entry, I gave it a pretty tight stop. My stop was just at the wick high. And I got my short entry here. If it will stop messing around. 17-point stop, and my PT hit for 38 points. I end up securing 33 points. So 2-to-1 risk to reward. Great quality setup here. So I started the day off green. And then we wanted the long reversal model. We just never got it. I called a potential entry for members at this 1-minute fair value gap, which ended up working out. But again, that is just not my setup. I can see the setup in a sense, but it just wasn't enough for me to get it. So obviously we have this inverse fair value gap that we get candle closure above and then we respect. And also we have the inverse lower as well. Candle closure above and respect, but I just did not want that. I wanted to see market trade into my area of interest and then look for my buy side targets. So unfortunately, we just never failed to hit this. If we would sweep out this low in the 5-minute and then form the fair value up, I would have taken the longs. Unfortunately, we did not get that, so we stood off. And then I ended up taking a A+ model short that just got killed. That's totally fine. All right, so understanding that we've swept buy side here into the 4 hour and we've already broke structure downside, right, on the 5-minute time frame. Here's how you see we have a break of structure below this swing low. On the 15-minute time frame, we have traveled our way back into the 15 bearish. So what was my narrative point? Very simple. On the 1 hour time frame, I was looking for the sell side level 577 to reprice to the 1 hour fair value gap, which ended up getting hit later. All right, so I knew it was going to go there. It was just a matter of if I got my setup. But again, my A+ setup, guys, we broke structure. We traded back into the 15. Buy side swept. fake buy model gets broken down inversed. And I looked for my inverse short entry. I called for the members at this point. Right? I gave it a 15-point stop at this high. I targeted the stacked lows, which is narrative, for 33 points. Proper risk to reward, we just got burnt on it. Right? So here is why you trust your setup and have confidence. That was my A+ setup. Am I upset about the loss? No. Because that was my A+ setup. I had narrative. And I knew it was going to get hit. And it ended up getting hit later. And then we were able to capitalize on a short. So totally fine, right? 15-point loss. So this was my first loss I called for the members. Not my first loss, my fault. My first trade for the day that I called for members. And we just got burnt for a 13-point or 15-point loss. That's totally fine. Right, coming on to the session, we took off 30 minutes. I recouped, and I hopped back on the PM session looking for a nice setup. So again, another decent quality model. It's my short model. So I see that we have failed to deliver to buy side. So once we shift structure, I know that we're going to run lower before we run higher. And here was that setup. 5-minute fair value gap bullish. We closed below an inverse here. So what I look for, market to trade back into the inverse. We got a strong rejection, and I looked for my short entry at the 64 in this 1-minute inverse. Close below. I caught my shorts. My original stop was here. Once we cracked the lows, I moved my stop down to the candle for a 10-point stop, and then our target was this low here. Bam. Hit. So we took a loss. Ended up catching a nice dub for a round. I ended up securing 21 points. This candle did not fill us at the hit. So I ended up scaling around the 43s for about 21 points. But regardless, loss, shook it off. Stayed composed, got a great quality setup, had the confidence, and here's why you stick to your edge. We entered here. It took us 31 minutes to get out of this trade. But we trusted it. We stayed patient. My rules are either I hit stop loss or price target. There's no in the middle. We trusted it and it delivered. Members cashed out. We ended on another green day. 3 for 4 yesterday. 1 for 2 today. And for me personally, I went 5 for 6 yesterday and 2 for 3 today. Overall, a tough price action day. We took a loss on our A+ model, and I did not give a flying F. Stayed composed, executed, everyone ended up green. That's beautiful stuff. But that's all I have for you guys today, August 27th. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll be sure to get back to it.